Hello! Congratulations on purchasing a Numax anti-roaming collar. This video is designed to explain the method of operation and help to understand the instructions more fully. Please take the time to read the instructions carefully, as they include details which have not been covered in the video, particularly concerning the precautions to be taken during use. Let's begin by introducing ourselves. Numax is the European leader in canine communication and education. Our expertise is well recognized and has been built up working with dog owners and trainers making use of advanced technologies. Our distributors can offer you a range of training collars, acoustic tracking and radar location collars, anti-barking collars, ear defenders using analog and digital technology, and a bird launcher. Above all, Numax is associated with cutting-edge research into high-quality, high-performance and innovative products meeting your needs, and meeting the requirements of vets and dog training professionals. But let's take a look now at your new Canifugue kit. This is a product which meets current European standards. The operating principle of this system is to define the space in which one or several dogs can move using an antenna wire. Whenever the dog approaches an off-limits area that you have defined, the collar emits an audible bleep. If the dog continues moving towards the area that you have set as being off-limits for him, a slight electrical pulse drives him back. The Canifugue pack contains the transmitter unit with its power pack, a collar with built-in receiver, a reel of antenna wire with a length of 100 meters, a set of markers, operating instructions, a manufacturer's guarantee, and various small accessories such as the test lamp, electrodes, battery, and connectors. Let's move on to the first step, preparing the ground. The principle is very simple. The antenna wire must remain in a closed loop. This defines the area or areas to be marked out. The audible bleep and the electrical pulse functions will not work when the wire is twisted. It should be noted that if the outward and return wires are positioned close together, the signal will be very weak. You need to begin by measuring the perimeter of the areas that you wish to mark as being off-limits to your dog. This length will enable you to calculate whether the 100-meter reel is enough or whether you need to order more wire. More wire should be purchased at your local electrical shop. And now, let's move on to the installation of the antenna wire. Start at the spot where the transmitter will be plugged in, and then gradually unwind the reel of antenna wire. If you need to connect two reels, take great care when connecting both wires, using the supplied connectors which must be crimped. Slightly round off any sharp angles. Whenever you want to create a signal-free passage area, you should twist the outward and incoming antenna wire together like this. In this way, you can protect your garden, a flower bed, a swimming pool, and much more. Or you can simply protect an entrance or create a boundary. To increase protection for a gateway leading onto a dangerous road, we recommend that you proceed as shown in this diagram, creating a safety zone of at least 2 meters. Begin by carefully marking out the authorized roaming zones using the markers and the antenna wire. After having connected both ends of the wire to the transmitter, the installation of the antenna is now complete. You can now plug in the transmitter to the mains and turn it on. It will make a bleeping noise if the antenna wire is not connected correctly, or if the antenna wire is broken. All that remains to be done now is to carry out adjustment. Let's begin by defining the warning zone and the forbidden zone. This potentiometer determines the extent of the warning zone. In other words, the area in which the collar will simply bleep without emitting electrical pulses. This selector defines the extent of the forbidden zone, in which your dog will receive an electrical pulse. We can now begin testing the system. Attach the current tester, this little bulb, by unscrewing and then retightening the studs on each of the feet on the test lamp like this. Next, insert the battery into the collar. Now, stand in the middle of the area in which your dog is authorized to roam. Hold the collar by the strap and at about the same height as is your dog's neck. All you need to do now is to walk towards the danger zones and check that the color bleeps. Continue walking towards the electrical pulse zones and check that the bulb lights up. And finally, walk towards the roaming zones, in other words, the zones where the wire is twisted, to check that nothing happens. As soon as you're happy with your setup, remove the test lamp from the collar and carry out the final adjustment for the intensity of the electrical pulse. This adjustment is carried out using a push button located in the battery compartment on the collar. Careful, the collar must be turned on. You can choose between 8 levels of intensity according to the size and temperament of your dog. You can now move on to training your dog. The principle here is to carry out short training sessions of approximately 10 minutes each. Training lasts from 2 to 3 weeks. The first step involves showing the dog the antenna wire on the ground, without putting the collar on him, and showing your disapproval by a firm order, always spoken in the same tone. To begin with, select low intensity levels on the collar, levels 1 or 2 for example. Put the collar on your dog, and put him on his lead. This is very important. Then, taking him over to the protected areas. When he hears the bleep, and if he continues to go forward, at the moment he receives the electrical pulse, you should give the same firm order as you did previously, and point out the wire in the same way. Move back, stroking and calming your 4-legged friend. If your dog does not receive the electrical pulse when he should, this is because the collar is not tight enough, or because the level of the pulses is insufficient, or either because the electrodes are unsuitable. In this last case, you should replace the short electrodes with the long ones. Repeat this session on the lead several times in various places until you are sure that the bleep alone is enough to make the dog stay back. The prolonged presence of the dog in the warning zone will result in electrical pulse being sent every 10 seconds. If you need to take the dog through a zone that is off limits to him, always remove the collar first so that he associates wearing his collar with staying out of the protected area. Always regularly check that the transmitter and the collar are working properly. Ensure that you never accidentally send your dog an unjustified electrical pulse. Your dog is now ready. A few safety tips. Firstly, remember that Canifugue is only a virtual barrier and cannot be held liable for any consequences should your dog still cross the line. External causes such as fear or aggression may prove even stronger than the electrical pulses, and there is always a risk that the dog may cross the line. For further information, we invite you to consult the user's guide included in your pack. You can also use the enclosed order form or contact your distributor to obtain any accessories you need. Thank you for choosing Canifugue. We hope you have a lot of success with your dog and this system.